What's up guys, Sam here from EDMProd, back at it again with another weekly workflow tip. And I missed last week, so I apologize for that, but this week's tip is awesome. If you're not doing it, you're wasting a lot of time. So, in Ableton, when you pull in an audio effect, let's pull in like the auto filter for example, you'll see that it has certain settings as defaults. So the frequency is at 12.5 kilohertz. It's a low pass, there are a bunch of settings here. Now, yours will probably look like this as well, but if I pull in an EQ, yours might look different to mine. Why? Because this is a different setting, it's a different default. And you can actually do this. For example, if you use EQ and you normally high pass, like 80% of the time you use EQ to high pass something, then it makes sense to have the high pass enabled initially. So normally, the default setting in Ableton is that your EQ will look like this. And so when you pull the EQ rate in, it'll look like this. And if you have to high pass 80% of the time, you're going to have to come in, you're going to have to click this. You probably have to change the setting as well from that. Less steep filter to this. And that takes a few clicks. It only takes a few seconds, and you might think, Sam, this is stupid. Like, why would you worry about that? But when you do this kind of stuff time and time again in a project, it does add up. Those seconds do add up. So we can do that, and we can click Save as Default Preset. And you can see here that it's asking me if I want to override it. I can say yes, it's the same thing. And now when I pull it in again, you see that it's high passed. So we can do this with another effect. Let's say we use the ping pong delay quite a lot in our production. And most of the time when we use this ping pong delay, we have the full spectrum enabled. And we also have the dry wet at about 30% and the feedback at about maybe 40%, okay? And that's how we normally use it. Like over 50% of the time. A good rule of thumb is if you do something more than 50% of the time, you should enable a default because you'll save time. And then we can save this as a default. So we go save as default preset. We can delete this, pull it back in, boom. And you can do this with any Ableton audio effect and MIDI effect, and maybe even instrument, actually. Let me check. I haven't tried it with an instrument, but maybe it'll work. Yep, there you go. You can save that as a default preset too. So that's the workflow tip for this week. Hope it helps. If you have any questions, leave them below. Otherwise, have fun producing.